Yo, what is happening? My name is Zapton and welcome back to a brand new video, and today there is a brand new gift in Lumber Tycoon 2, and today I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know about it, including where to get it, how much it will likely sell for to other players after it goes off sale, of course, whether or not you should stock up on it, when it will likely go off sale, and a bunch of other things that will probably be super handy to know. So you're going to want to get onto the ferry because you're going to need to take a trip over the tropics, and make sure you purchase a ticket for 400, which is the amount that you're going to have to pay for each trip. So you're going to have at least 800 lumber bucks just for the ferry ride, and then you're also going to need a lot of lumber bucks for the gift itself. Although the ferry ride is of course free if you have the Super Hoove Game Pass. Now if the ferry isn't here, you're just going to have to wait for the ferry to arrive at this dock, and then you're just going to want to get on, purchase a ticket, and then just wait for it to depart. Usually it takes around 4 minutes on each side, and then around about 2 minutes for the trip. And by the way guys, you can always check how long it's gonna take just by going up to the ferry and asking, when do you next run? And he says 48 seconds, so make sure you're seated in a vehicle before it starts going, because otherwise you can very likely fall off of the ferry. So once you get over to the tropics, you're just going to want to back straight out, and you're going to want to go straight away from the dock this way until you see this little cave entrance right here. And this is also known as the maze. And be careful here guys, it is pretty easy to get lost, but if you follow along carefully you should be completely fine, as it is quite simple. Just make sure that you turn on your headlights by pressing L on your keyboard, and there should just be a button on mobile and console. So once you get to the first split off right here, you're just going to want to go left right here and just kind of hug the left wall until you wrap completely around. So this is where you wrap completely around, and once you have done that, you're just going to want to go in the middle passage twice. So you see there is a passage here, there is two others right here. You're just gonna want to go into the middle one and then just go straight until you get over to the next little bit where there is another 3 passages. There's this one over here and then another one over here. You of course just want to, it's pretty easy to see which ones you should be going into, just the middle one. And over here you guys should see the brand new gift, and this is going to be called the Gift of Individualism. As you guys can see, it is going to cost you 18,200 lumber bucks, so it's a bit on the pricier side, and we'll get into what that means for you guys and whether or not you should be stocking up on this and everything as a result of, of course, the drive down here, how complicated it is to get down here, and of course the pretty expensive price. That's pretty steep, but anyways, the description is just beautiful, exclamation mark, and there is 4 right here. Now Electro in his video about this gift was actually saying that this gift is pretty significant because it is the first time that we've ever gotten 2 painting gifts in a row. So last year we got a painting gift, and this year we also got a painting gift. So Electro was saying that this is probably because it is the 10th Christmas that we've ever had in Lumber Tycoon. So that could be what is happening. It could just be that the developer wanted to do something very special. But anyways, let's go ahead and buy one. You guys can see it's pretty big, so you're definitely going to want to get a bigger truck if you want to stock up on these. But speaking of stocking up on these, I wouldn't necessarily stock up on this one too heavily. It will probably go up in price more than the last 2 just because it's bigger, and generally bigger gifts kind of go for more just because they are so big. It's just a little bit harder to dupe them, which means that they usually have a little bit of a higher price, but that's not always the case. But anyways guys, 18,000 is a little bit steep, especially considering that the last gift that we got, the Doom gift, which by the way, if you haven't seen my video on that, you're going to want to check that out because I explain everything you're gonna need to know about it. This one on the other hand, you're probably not going to want to stock up on as much, just because the last one we got was 404 lumber bucks, so that was really cheap. This one's definitely a little bit more expensive, and of course, if you just want to have this gift just because there's probably something really cool inside of it, probably a cool painting like we have over here. You guys can see some of these are pretty cool, and of course with every painting there's usually a use. Like for this gloomy painting, the back of the painting can actually be used as blackwood for roads and stuff like this. This one's just a pure white back, and this one's a color, it's an orange wood, which we don't have in the game, so that is also pretty useful. And just all of these are pretty useful for building for sure. Some of them are a little bit hard to build with just because they have a weird hitbox, so it's not all of them go together very nicely, so sometimes you have to glitch them together like you have to do with the gloomy paintings for roads and stuff like that. But last year, guys, we actually got a gift that had a 4x4 footprint. It was the pixelated gift, which is perfect for building. It was basically the same size as like a countertop, so it was super nice for building. So that one was super worth it to stock up on. This one, I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be as good, but I would imagine if we got a gift that was super nice for building last year, the developer is probably going to do something very similar this year, just because generally gifts improve over time. So yeah, I think this one will probably be pretty useful for building, so probably pick some up. And again, we don't know what this is. It could be really cool. As always, guys, you can't open these gifts until Christmas Day, so there's not really a way to figure out what's inside of it until Christmas Day. And of course, I'll make a video once you can open these gifts going over what's inside of all of them, so you can just watch that instead of getting on the game. But yeah, considering last year's fine arts gift currently sells for around 40 to 50k on the market, I would imagine this one will sell for a similar amount, which would be about 2 to 3 times the price that you can get it for right now in the fine arts shop, which is actually not that much compared to the Doom gift in Fancy Furnishings, which is expected to sell for around 100 times the price that you can get it for right now. So, you know, if it were me, I wouldn't stock up on this gift too heavily for money, just because, as a reminder, you have to go on the ferry, which takes a long time, and then you have to navigate the maze, and then you have to go back, which also takes a long time. And in all of that time, you could probably buy several truckloads of the Doom gift in Fancy Furnishings, which I think would be a better return on your investment. But that said, it is still a good idea to get it right now, since it is the cheapest you will probably ever be able to buy it for, since like I said, it will probably double or triple in price. So it's kind of up to you if you want to have a lot of whatever's inside of this gift, because it could end up being super useful for building, or it could have a special mechanic that you might want, but we don't really know right now. We just have to wait until Christmas when we can open these gifts. So if you have the money for it, I would get at least a truckload. Otherwise, just get a few just to have. But yeah, guys, with that said, it is now time to get out of the maze. So I'm just gonna show you quickly how you can get out of the maze, so you can get all of these gifts back to your base, so that they will of course save, because if you don't do that, then they will not save and you will be sad. So let's just go straight and then make this slight turn. You don't want to take too sharp of a turn, otherwise you might go down the wrong passage. But basically, just go back this way. If you remember, we went down the middle passage twice, but now basically it's just gonna be just going straight. Don't go too crazy until you get to this point where it's a fork. You're just going to want to go right, and you're just going to want to hug this wall, if you guys remember hugging the wall. And now you just want to basically go this way, and right here you can get up to this ramp, and this is the exit right here. So you just want to go up this ramp all the way up, and it looks like it is daytime, so that is good news. But now it's time to see if the ferry is here, which it does look like the ferry is here. So let's go over to the ferry. I don't know how long the ferry has, so I want to make sure that I get on the ferry before it departs. There's the possibility that the ferry won't be there for you guys, so you'll just have to wait on the dock until the ferry arrives. But anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask when we next depart, which is 56 seconds. So let's just go ahead and wait on the ferry until then. And now we have gotten back to the mainland, so let me get these back to my base. Yeah, guys, as always, you're gonna want to make sure that you get all of your gifts into a safe spot so that they don't get glitched out while you're waiting to open them. Probably put them in a safe little storage area so that they don't get glitched out or whatever. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be pretty much it for this new gift. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel so that you guys don't miss out when new gifts come out. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for me. I'll see you in the next video once it's out. See ya!